Hey girl, I'm live. It's Coach B. Wiley. How are you doing today? Of course, I am in the sauna reporting live to you. And as you can see, the topic is ask a man if you're a good woman. You want to be mindful and careful when it comes to the words that you're using to describe yourself when a guy asks you what makes you a quality and or a good woman, or if he asks the question that he typically will, why are you so single? Why are you still single? You're attractive. You have a great job. You got great conversation. Why are you still single? A lot of men will ask that question and women will take offense. And depending on the delivery of it, like being single doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you decide to settle down. So I would advise every woman that's watching this, and if you're tuning in, let me know you're here. Give me a thumbs up, a heart, whatever you do on here. I think it's a heart. You do a lot. You do hearts, you do gifts, you do diamonds. I'm still learning. Roses. And so anyway, when talk to a guy, this guy can be a brother, a cousin, a coworker, a guy that actually knows you and has an unbiased. People keep trying to join this live. A guy that is not trying to get in the bed with you. Ask him, or if you're aware and honest and mature enough, you could ask an ex, or if you have children, the man that you have children with, what makes you a woman? I've done this literally before. That's why I'm challenging you to do this. And when he gives you this unbiased, constructive feedback, it's on you to receive it and do what you want with it. If he does point out some things, such as he might say, I don't like the fact that when you have a problem with someone, you yell, you lead with emotion, and you accuse. Don't nobody want to hear that. So if he says that to you, if you're emotionally mature, which I need for you to be, you then must let it soak in. Don't react. Let it soak in and think to yourself, do I act this way? And if he does say these things to you that don't necessarily rub you the right way, ask him to provide examples of what he's saying. So if he says that you're always running late, it takes you forever to get ready. If he says you always beat yourself up, you always say you're fat, you always say you're ugly, you always literally beat yourself up more than anyone else could. If he says that, you want to think to yourself, do I say these things about myself? If he says that he wishes that you would follow up on things, that you say one thing, you do it for a little while, but then you don't really follow up. You don't have the discipline. You don't have the drive. If he says something like you're at your job, but you hate this job, you've hated it for years, but yet you know you're underpaid, you know you're barely getting any benefits or retirement, but you're unwilling to do anything about it. If he brings that to your attention, your job isn't to cuss him out. Your job isn't to turn your back on him and be like, well, we just not going to be friends anymore and I'm going to block your butt. No, your job, if you want to evolve, if you want to improve as a human and specifically as a woman, your only job is to receive that input and then say, hey, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to ponder on it. Maybe they're right. What can I do about it? Because if you're unwilling to tweak yourself, you can't then be like, well, this dude that I've attracted into my life, he does some things that I don't like and I want him to change. And if he don't change, I'm out this piece. No, it don't work that way. Because if he can change, you can change. And if you want a quality man, again, sister, here go a broken record, you're going to have to be a quality woman. And quality takes time and preparation and development. Ask me how I know, because I'm developing, y'all. I've been developing for the last, I don't know, when did I start developing here? Whenever I moved to St. Louis. So I was about 30. I'm 42 now. So get into it. And I can teach you guys, and I write books about it. That's one thing. That's probably the number one thing that I think comes with being a quality human, but specifically since we're talking women here, isn't her knowing who she is. She knows her truth. She knows what she does good. She knows what she does not so well. And she's willing to have open ears to listen to constructive criticism when it comes to what she could do better versus being on the defense. If you find yourself when someone's talking to you, whether it be at work, with your friends, with your family, and you immediately jump stupid when they give you constructive, loving, kind, input and feedback, that is not good. That is a turn off. Because when you with your man, and he gives you some feedback, he your man, right? You're supposed to listen to what your man got to say, right? But you'll turn on him. And if you'll turn on him like he a dog in the street, then that's not a good quality, which doesn't make you a quality woman. So look yourself in the mirror and say, so, am I a quality, or I'm out here in the trash like the rest of these dudes I continue to attract? Because again, it's a reason why you attract what you attract. You got to look around that swimming pool, that dating pool that you're in. Are you at the bottom of the barrel pool? Are you low-hanging fruit? Are you in the middle somewhere? Like you get some quality dudes, but then you get the worst. You kind of up and down and it's not no balance. Or are you at the top tier where you've done the work, your self-care, self-development, self-reliance. You've asked the opinions of others who have great unbiased opinions, who got good common sense. You've self-assessed. You're working out. You're working on your health, your mental health, your body, your spirit, your brain. You're reading books and or listening to books. You're watching things on TV that make sense versus things that don't. Now, hey, y'all know me. I'll watch reality TV and then I'll listen to TD Jakes. Why? Because I have balance. So of course you want to have balance, but for the most part, you need to be learning and earning education about who you want to be. And when you're following people on social media specifically, you want to be following people that will inspire you, not people that are going to make you mad as hell, that they're overseas on the beach living their best life that they've worked for. You don't need to follow people like that. Me personally, I had to unfollow. I've literally unfollowed relatives who come through my news feed that trigger me. Like, why am I triggered? First of all, I need to ask myself, which I did, why are you triggered, B. Wiley? What is wrong with you? Because clearly it's not a them thing, it's a you thing. So if you are the common denominator when it comes to dating, communicating, and men, and you keep getting dogged out, you keep getting left on red, you keep getting picked up and put back down, it's you. You're the one that's attracting this energy within. Now, don't get it twisted. Even as you're learning, growing, evolving, of course, the devil going to sneak his little head in there. He going to pop up. He going to sing you something that look good, but ain't good for you. But because you're learning, you're growing, you're smarter, you're going to know, oh, you know what? I almost fell for this, but because I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm watching videos, I'm following people that make sense, I'm going to let this ride. Even with me doing this as a professional since 2014, I've been doing videos and writing books and coming on social media. I have over 500 videos on YouTube alone. And I started TikTok. I think I started TikTok in 2020, but I really heavily got into it maybe like a year and a half ago or so. I've seen a difference. I've seen a difference with myself and even the guys that I attract. I can't say that I attract guys who are just trash. I will say that I attract the young dudes, because the older I get, the younger they get. Not saying they're not quality men, but they're young men. What can I do? I'm not going to have no more kids. So what can I do with that? So you have to think about the men that you continue to attract. Could it be something I'm doing, wearing, saying, giving? What is my conversation? How am I carrying myself? How am I addressing it? Something. Okay, yeah, it's resumed. Something happened. It like literally went to another screen. But if you're still here, go ahead and heart this video, like it, share it if you want. But you have to think about your mentality and how you're carrying yourself. And if you want to see a change, you have to become change. And changing don't mean you do everything at once. Because when you try to do everything at once, then you'll get overwhelmed. Me personally, I used to try to do everything at once, and now I break everything down. I simplify. I simplify everything. I literally just simplified my rent. I broke it down. Okay, so how much rent do I owe? I know the lump sum, but what do I owe each day? And when I broke it down for each day, I was just like, oh, that ain't nothing at all. I can do that in my sleep. Versus if I looked at the big old picture and the big amount, I'm just like, oh, God, this is overwhelming. This is soul sucking. So if you think about guys that way, think about the guys that you've dated and the guys that you have in your life. Are you overwhelmed about what you attracted and who you've been with? Does that overwhelm you? Well, why do you want that? Why did you tolerate that? Remember, that's the word of the week. Tolerate. Why are you tolerating yourself and your own nonsense? You got your own nonsense. You get on your nerves sometimes. So why are you continue to be tolerant of the stupid, silly stuff that you do? Whether that is getting up late, running late, not putting yourself together the best way you could, not drinking enough water, not actually getting your steps in, not going to the gym like you said you would, not throwing the ball around with your son if you're a single mom, not going to the recital with your daughter because you were just up all night stalking somebody's social media and you didn't feel like getting up. We all have our stuff, and it's on you to write it down, jot it down if you really want to be a quality woman. And I advise you to talk to the best men in your life and ask them to do an assessment on you, because sometimes we don't see who we are and what we're giving out. That's why it's good. If you can't look outside of yourself, it's always good to have someone who is around you, who knows you, who F's with you, who can tell you, all right, girl, this is what you've been doing. I didn't want to say nothing, but since you asked, I can tell you all about yourself. And the best thing for you to do with your emotional intelligence, because you're smart, you're emotionally aware, you're available, and you're ready to receive the criticism, is to jot them notes down and go from there. So ladies, what are y'all thinking? Those of you who are watching this, if you like this kind of insight, if you want me to do more on this kind of content and this topic, let me know. If you're new here, I'm Coach B. Wiley. I'm a certified professional life coach. I've been doing videos and writing books since 2014. What else? If you want to book with me, mymentor.life. Look up Coach B. Wiley. Let's do a one-on-one session. And if you're going to do a session with me, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be just summed up in one 60-minute session. A lot of women will try to do that. Y'all try to cut corners. That's another thing when you're dating and getting yourself together. You can't cut no corners. You didn't start these habits that you have that aren't so great for you overnight. You didn't start attracting dudes, great quality dudes, and you won't overnight. You have to build yourself up to it and decide, this is what I want, so this is what I'm going to do to get that. However, if you're unwilling, then you cannot complain, and you better not come on here complaining about all these dogs and all these trifling dudes when you ain't done nothing. Perhaps you have some trifling ways. When was the last thing you did that was trifling? Can you think about it? Can you? Because, hey, we all do it, right? We're human. That don't mean you're a trifling individual. Maybe it just means you got some trifling tendencies, and we want to get you out of that so you can stop attracting trifling people. That includes family and friends too. All right, ladies, I don't know how long I've been on here, but the phone is getting hot and I don't want it to do what it just did a minute ago. So if you want, I'll be in here doing lives. I'm trying to do as many lives as I can. Usually it's when I'm in the sauna, because that's just what I've been doing these days. But outside of that, feel free to follow me here, Coach B. Wiley, YouTube. If you want long content like this on my YouTube, I'm going to start uploading these TikTok videos on my actual YouTube, just in case you missed it. Coach B. Wiley on all the things. Book me if you want a one-on-one with me. Ask me a quick question in my inbox on here, and I'll be glad to answer a quick question. But if you want me to break it all the way down to you, which I would love to do, you book me as your coach. You need a coach. So you watching me right now. So clearly I have something to say that you need to hear. So go ahead and book your session. Share with a friend, a family member, a coworker, or whoever you think needs this information. And if you like this information, go ahead and like it. Talk to you later. Oh, Lord.